Imagine working your whole life to protect your land, only to find out that your HOA president, Karen, just gifted your private lake to her spoiled son. And when you show up to stop her, she calls the cops on you. What she doesn't know? I'm not just a rancher. I control every dollar her HOA spends. Tonight, she's about to learn that messing with my land means bankrupting her entire empire. There's a certain kind of peace you only get living on a ranch. Mornings come with the sound of roosters crowing, the smell of fresh hay, and the reflection of sunrise dancing across the water. For me, that water was more than just a lake. It was family. The lake sat in the heart of my 2,000-acre ranch, a glittering jewel framed by cedar trees and rolling hills. My father had built the dam that created it with his own hands. My grandfather stocked it with catfish and bass decades earlier. And me? I had poured every ounce of sweat and pride into preserving it. It was ours, my family's, untouchable. At least, that's what I thought, until Karen decided otherwise. Karen Barnes wasn't just any neighbor. She was the self-proclaimed queen of Willow Glen, the kind of HOA president who believed power was her birthright. Pearl necklaces, pastel blazers, and an ego larger than Texas. If there was an inch of property line she could stick her nose over, she would. Her son, Evan, was no better, a 30-year-old man-child who'd never worked a day in his life. He lived in Karen's basement, drove a sports car she paid for, and strutted around like the world owed him something. So when I got home early one Tuesday afternoon and found my ranch hand, Louis, pale with anger, I knew trouble was brewing. "Boss, you need to see this," he said, shoving his phone into my hands. On the screen, a Facebook Live video played. There was Karen, standing proudly on my dock, arm around Evan, holding up a giant novelty certificate. The caption read, "So proud to gift my son his very own lake today. Family legacy continues. Hashtag Karen Power, hashtag HOA Victory." I nearly dropped the phone. Gift? My lake? I stormed down to the lake, boots crunching on the gravel. Sure enough, Karen was there in all her glory, Evan grinning like a fool beside her. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I barked. Karen turned, smug smile plastered across her face. "Relax," she said sweetly. "The lake is community property now, and as HOA president, I've transferred it to my son." I snatched the fake certificate from her hands. The thing looked like it was printed off Microsoft Word. "Lady, this lake sits smack in the middle of my ranch, private property. You can't just gift what doesn't belong to you." Evan puffed out his chest. "It's mine now, old man. Mom said so." My blood boiled. "Get the hell off my dock." Karen crossed her arms. "Fine, have it your way, but don't say I didn't warn you." An hour later, flashing red and blue lights rolled up my driveway. 2 sheriff deputies stepped out, looking more annoyed than concerned. Karen came charging toward them, waving her arms. "Officers, thank goodness you're here. This man is trespassing on my son's property and threatening us." The deputies blinked, then looked at me. "Evening," one said carefully. I crossed my arms. "Evening. You know damn well this is my land." Karen shoved the certificate into their hands. "Here's the proof." The older deputy squinted. "Ma'am, this looks like clip art." I chuckled, pulling a thick folder from under my arm. "Here's the real paperwork. Deeds, stamped and notarized. Been in my family for 3 generations." The deputy scanned it, nodded, and handed it back. "Looks solid." Karen screeched, "You're all corrupt. You're protecting him because he's rich." That's when I stepped closer, lowering my voice so only she could hear. "Karen, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. Because not only do I own this lake, I also control your entire HOA budget." Her eyes widened.
The truth was simple. For years, I'd served on the county finance board. Every HOA budget, every permit fee, every landscaping contract, it all crossed my desk before approval. Willow Glen's HOA wasn't funded by magic. It was funded by county allocations, and I signed those checks. One phone call, and their funds could disappear like smoke. Karen didn't know that until now. "You're bluffing," she hissed. I pulled out my phone and hit speed dial. "Lisa, freeze the Willow Glen HOA's accounts effective immediately." "Yes, all of them." Karen's face drained of color. The deputy raised an eyebrow. "Well, that settles that." By now, neighbors had gathered along the fence line, phones out, filming everything. Evan looked around nervously. "Mom, what's happening?" Karen's voice cracked. "This isn't over. I'll sue him. The deputy cut her off. "Ma'am, you've made a false report, trespassed, and attempted fraud. One more word and you're coming with us." Her composure shattered. "Do you know who I am?" I smirked. "Oh, we all know who you are. That's the problem." I pulled another paper from my folder and slapped it against Evan's chest. "That's a county audit notice. Your HOA is under investigation for misuse of funds. And after tonight, I don't think we'll have to dig very deep." The crowd gasped. Phones flashed. Karen stumbled, Evan barely catching her arm. The deputy gestured toward their car. "Time to go." Karen screamed as they escorted her off my land. "You can't take everything from me." I leaned in one last time. "Karen, you tried to steal my legacy, but you forgot. I own yours." As their headlights vanished down the road, the crowd erupted in cheers. For years, Karen had ruled over them with fear, threats, and endless fines. Now, in one night, her empire had crumbled. Lewis clapped me on the back. "Boss, remind me never to get on your bad side." I laughed, staring at the lake under the moonlight. "Don't worry, Lewis. Just don't try gifting my lake to anyone, and we'll be fine." The neighbors roared with laughter. The water shimmered, calm and untouched. And for the first time in a long time, Willow Glen was free. Karen's reign was over. Forever.